Hello everyone, my name is Major Pain, and welcome back to World of Hooty Tooty Point and Shooty. Today it is Tiger playing in his IS-3A, a tier 8 Russian heavy tank that is premium but doesn't have a loader. Because the A in IS-3A means auto load or something like that. It doesn't have a loader, it has a mechanical loading system in the turret that basically means that loader is useless. Now that has its advantage and disadvantage. The advantage is it has a faster reload time than a normal IS-3 or an IS-5. The disadvantage is because it's a premium tank, it trains crew. But you don't have a loader, so you have 3 people in this tank, so your loader gets behind on crew training. So if you have an IS-3, you know the IS-3A is a nice premium tank, it makes money, it is the same hull, but it doesn't train your loader. So that's a bit of a bummer. But hey, you've got an IS-3 with a pretty good gun, 221mm of penetration instead of 225 that the normal IS-3 gets, but you fire APCR because this is technically an IS gun, but fires APCR standard, which is, you know, pretty much the premium ammo on the IS, but it fires heat as premium. It's just Wargaming was all like, yo, we need a gun that is not great, but it is pretty good. It has 0.46 accuracy instead of 0.4 on the IS-3, but Tiger is not going to get in trouble with the 0.46 accuracy because he's going to fight in very close quarters combat in the city of Lakeville. Now why am I showing you an IS-3A replay? No idea, Tiger sent it in and I was pretty impressed with how he got this gun to work. Because I've got the IS-5 and it has basically the same gun as this IS-3A. It fires a bit slower, but it's just basically the same gun. But I never get... I have trouble with the 0.46 accuracy, mainly because... I don't know! I like the snapshot. I like the snapshot in my IS-3. And if I do it in my IS-5, the shell's like, to the moon and beyond! Oh, I have uploaded an IS-5 replay, by the way, on this channel as well. So if you want to compare the IS-3A with the IS-5, I'll put a link in the video and in the description and on my YouTube and on the moon and probably in my garden as well. And I'm probably on the nearest windmill to my house. And if you're not interested in watching that video, why not? Oh, maybe you have seen it before. And if you have not seen it, it also has a 907 replay. So if you want to know how the 907 plays compared to the 140, T628, 430, T230, all those medium tanks, go and have a watch, look, view, see. Now what is the IS-5 and the 907 exactly? They are reward tanks for clan wars, and the IS-3A is a premium tank you could have bought in the premium store a while back when Wargaming was like, hey, buy this, do it, now. And the difference is, well, for one, the IS-3A, you spend money on it, and the 907 and the IS-5, you don't, because you put effort into it that lasts for 10 days or almost a month. So that's the difference. 10 seconds of, here's my money, or a month of 4 hours playing every night for a week or longer, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's painful. And speaking of clan wars, Operation Typhoon has been going on for more than a week already, and it's been brutal. We have had evenings where we were just playing for 5 hours straight. 5 hours of just games in my IS-3 on maps that I know from inside out by now. And you should not be surprised if I say maps and actually mean Himmelsdorf. Yeah. Now, the problem with this campaign is, the last campaign we played for the 907, it had a tier 10 reward tank, the T95E6, which was new, but it wasn't that special. It wasn't as powerful as the 907, for example, or the M60. So, a lot of clans that tried to, wanted to get the tank already were like, well, I don't really want the T95E6, so I'm not going to put effort into it. The same with the previous campaign before that. The Operation Safari, I believe it was, where the top 10 clans got an FCM50T for free, and the rest top 40 got the T23E3. Now, you had the few really good clans that were like, oh, a free FCM50T or the gold from it, don't mind if I do. So Fame, 3XR, TAF, like those clans, they were pretty much the top 10. And the rest of the clans that were like, probably not going to get top 10, but a tier 7 clan wars reward tank, not really that interested in it. So a lot of the good clans were like, to hell with it, not gonna play. So it was really easy to get that tank. But this reward, the Chieftain T95, it's a really new tank. It's a Chieftain hull, which already is like, wow! And a T95 turret, which I've never seen before. And it's an American-British kind of hybrid tank that apparently existed in blueprints and in ideas. but it's a new tank that people actually want to get because it's never seen before on the EU server. So a lot of really good clans are like, might as well try it out and give it a look, see, play 5 games with it, never touch it again. So that's why it's pretty difficult to actually get this tank this time for mediocre clans, or mediocre good clans, like, for example, like QSF-E, QSF-S, QSF-L, QSF-Main, QSF-X. They are good clans, but not great clans. They're not famed, they're not ideal, they're not 3XR. We are just somewhere there floating in the middle. And I'm back with something different. This is the Himmelsdorf map, and I've talked about this in the camping positions in J3. But I want to talk about the other camping position on this map, the north, specifically A4 and A3, and that little road in B4. The problem is, we have encountered a lot of clans camping in those windows, and the problem with those windows is, you cannot break this camp. You can put an IS-3 or a T-32 in those windows, and you cannot physically kill them or you fire high explosive, but you need to take 20 shells with you to kill them. Now let's have a look at why this is a problem. You can enter these windows from the back if you go over the 3 and 2 line on this map, but that means that people are going to camp into the road next to it. Now the whole issue with these windows is you have a full view over the cap and the streets running into it. So if you sit in there, you have the whole cap in your view and nothing can beat you unless they somehow pen you on your roof in the IS-3 or your cupola in the T-32. But that means they have to get into your face. Now, that is not that bad, but usually their whole team is camping in those positions. So let's have a look from the other side if you're attacking this side. I've shown you where we are on the map, and yes, you can see these windows are barely visible. Especially if there's a tank in there, you cannot just hit their hole and pen them. So you are sitting here as a very open target for them to shoot you. And if you go to the other side, it's a very long street without any cover. I'm sorry for the supplies in the cap, but the windows again have a perfect shot on you and you cannot shoot them. Now you can shoot into the road next to it, but the windows still have a perfect shot on you. Now this footage is from the actual Typhoon campaign. We played this game on, what was it? Sunday, but I didn't record it with voice and TeamSpeak and all because my computer already blue screened for that day and I didn't want it to crash during a Clan Wars game. I wasn't taking any risk and I just wanted to get these games done without any hassle. Now at this point in the game we already checked for the hill if they're there, we already checked in the A, B and C9 area. We pretty much know they are probably camping in the windows, and the T-32 spotted in the train station pretty much confirms the fact that we think that they are camping in the windows in A4. So what I am told to do is go into the position I showed you earlier where you have vision onto the windows, reverse side scrape and see if I can see them if they are actually inside of those windows. Lo and behold, there's at least one IS-3 sitting there firing a PCR, which is normal in Clan Wars, waiting for us to just drive into their cap so they can shoot us. But I am reverse side scraping, and if I do it correctly, there is no way they can pen me unless they fire high explosive at me. And seeing as I cannot pen them ever, I fire high explosive at them. Now you might be thinking, this is pretty useless, Phil, why are you doing this? At this point, I am the only tank spotted, so they have no idea what we have, where we are, and what we are doing. They are just waiting for us to drive into their cap circle. If we were to camp ourselves, this would have been a draw. They will never, ever leave that area because that is their strongest position and that's their way of thinking. If we sit here and they drive out in front of us, we shoot them, we kill them, we win the game. But sadly enough, it worked for them so long that their ELO rating was higher than ours. ELO rating is basically if you win a game, you get points. You start off at 1000, so if you do good, you get higher than 1000. If you lose more games than you win, you go lower than 1000. Their rating at this point was 1220 something. Our rating was 1197 or something like that. They were technically better than us, but now we know why. They won a load of games sitting in the windows in Himmelsdorf. And it was for us to figure out how to break this camp. And we have lost many games to this camp. Now just because I'm using this clan as an example doesn't mean they are bad players. They might have really aggressive tactics for other maps. And I just do not want you to go and harass them because of this video. They are a load of good players that have their own tactics and they worked with them. No reason for you to be buttholes against them. Now at this point it's a minute later and I suddenly had trouble spotting them, which means they sort of pulled back out of the windows to not catch too many damage for me firing high explosive at them. So what we did is we pulled our light tank behind me, and he has an excellent camo rating and view range, for him to spot them in the windows, perma-spot them, so I can be pulled back into another position so we can hopefully push in with all the IS-3s in one street and kill them. Now at this point we were still heavily debating what we were going to do. Are we going to push via the 2-3 line? Are we going to push via the 6 line? Are we going to push the 7 line? Are we going to push from the hill, the A line, into the windows? There is just no winning with this camp. Like I said, we've lost many games to this camp. On the very first day, our third game, we lost to this exact camp. Not this clan, just this camp. Now, I usually don't talk to the enemy in a clan wars game. Like, I've been spotted, they know what I have, so I can say something. But this camp really grinds my gears because it's so difficult to break and it's so easy for them to keep doing it. So, I'm not really taunting them at this point. I'm genuinely asking, like, how often does this work? Because I'm pretty sure people have broke this camp before and we want to do it as well to keep continuing our landing. So then John commands the IS-3s to go sit into C56, basically that street in the middle looking at their cap circle. Because we want to do something. There's 5.5 minutes left or something like that on the game. We do not want to sit here and draw this game. So we wait for all of our IS-3s to get into position into the street. I am in the back because I've already taken a bit of damage, and we do not want someone on low damage to take the first few shots. So I am in the back waiting for all of the IS-3s to push, and then I will follow. And if you want to know the result of this game, come back on Sunday, because I'm not going to show it now because the campaign is still busy. But I want to know, what would you do in a situation like this? Would you push all your heavy tanks into cap and try and kill them while they sit in the windows? Are you going to try and push the 1-2-3 line and hopefully kill the tanks in the train station and then push into the windows? Are you going to push A line, push B line? Are you going to come back to your own base and camp it out, hoping for them to attack you? I want to know. Put in the comment section, what are you going to do before I show on Sunday what we did? Until then, think about it, because we only had 10 minutes, you have 3 days. I'm looking forward to your suggestions.